Well, here I am once again. Thank you for watching. Today I'll tell you another one about my brother Jim. Jim was, well, it's not really fair to say he was a fibber or a liar as such, but everything he told was not exactly the truth. It had some truth to it, but it got distorted a little bit. He later on became a preacher. It all makes sense when you know. But Jim, as I think I've said before, my dad was a preacher. We were living in one of the few houses that we lived in that was a two-story house that had an upstairs that we could use. And mine and Jim's bedroom was upstairs in this house. And Daddy got into a habit. When Jim told one that just wasn't like it ought to be and didn't fit everything, Daddy'd make him go up to his room. Go upstairs to your room and pray about this. See what the Lord says about it. Jim would go up there and hang out a while in the bedroom and come on back. I always had something else to add to his story, I guess. But we had a neighbor that had a big collie dog, one of the biggest collie dogs I've ever seen. It was hairy. Oh, it had more hair than you can imagine. Shaggy. It was always getting out and getting in the cuckleburrs. And Jim we would help him about combing the cuckleburrs out of old Rex. We'd comb. Old Rex was pretty patient. He never did bite us. He did threaten some of us a time or two, but he never did really bite anybody about combing him. He would get impatient. Well, they had sheep. Mr. White had sheep. That's what Rex's main job was to look after the sheep. And he was good at it. No predators of any kind came around because Rex would jump on anything. I think he would have jumped on a full-grown African lion. He might not have fared too well, but he would have jumped him, especially if it was bothering his sheep. Well, the men came to shear sheep one day, and they sheared all Mr. White's sheep. And he told them, while you're shearing, it's pretty hot weather, just shear old Rex too. Said he could probably do it with a haircut, and it's hot. He's sweating a lot, just shear Rex too. Well, the men sheared Rex. And in doing, they sheared most of his body back here, but they didn't get his front legs and all at first. And then they got looking, they kind of straightened up where they had come to, and they left this up here around his shoulders and his head. Also, when they shearing his tail, they left a blob of hair out here on the end of it. He was the funniest looking thing you ever saw there for a few days till we got used to how he looked. But they turned him loose. Rex ran around twitching and all, and he came on out to our house and fooled around. And Jim saw him, and when Jim saw him, he ran for the house. Oh, help us, help us. There's a lion in the yard. There's a lion in the yard. It'll get all of us. Get the shotgun, get the rifle, get a cannon, whatever it takes, howitzer, anything, Gatling gun, kill that lion. Well, Daddy heard him hollering, thought something had happened to him. He couldn't tell what he was saying. He comes out where he can hear him. A lion in the yard? Yeah, big lion in the yard. It's come after us. Daddy walks out on the porch. Jim's, better not go out there, Daddy. He'll get you. Well, here was old Rex walking around there in the yard. Daddy sees him, kind of lies, come back. Jim, there's no lion in the yard. You told another tale. There's no lion in the yard. That's old Rex. They just sheared him. Kind of left some hair up around his neck and shoulders, and a little bit on the end of his tail. But he's not a lion, and you know that. You knew that was Rex. You've told another one. Now you get up to your bedroom now. You get on your knees there by that bed, and you talk to the Lord about this. And I want to know what he says about it. Well, Jim goes up there, and lazy as he was at times, he probably stretched out on the bed a while. I don't know, but he went upstairs and he fooled around a while. This is a pretty biggie, so he fooled around a while longer, you know. And he finally came on back down. He was all carefree and happy. Daddy said, Jim, did you talk to the Lord about that tale you told? Yes, sir. Sure did. Well, I'd like to know what did the Lord say about it. The Lord says, that's all right, Jim. Don't worry about it. First time I seen that thing, I thought it was a lion too. And that'll do it for the lion story.